Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to talk about something you probably already watched a video on, and maybe you've actually even seen the movie Redeeming Love, but there's been a lot of talk among the Christian community kind of analyzing this video, saying the positive. Some people have positive comments, some people have negative comments. Well, I'm going to share why I believe the Redeeming Love movie is sad for the Christian community as a whole. Now, before I get into my thoughts about that, I want to share with you guys what this video is not. So this video is not meant to make anyone feel bad for going to see the movie if they saw it. I have friends who saw it, and I don't want this to become this like, you shouldn't have gone to see the movie kind of thing. So the Redeeming Love movie that came out was based off the Francine Rivers book, Redeeming Love. You probably know all of this. Well, I was very curious to see what this movie was going to be like. And a lot of times before I want to see a movie that I'm not sure about, I will look up on Plugged In, like a newer movie, that I'm not sure about. Or sometimes there's another website called Common Sense Media, and that one's not Christian, but Plugged In is. And I had seen a few little previews here and there of Redeeming Love, and I was like, that does not look, my initial thoughts were like, ooh, that something doesn't sit right with me there. It looks too sensual. Well, when the movie came out, I read on Plugged In that there's like basically 4 minutes total of like sex scenes. There's 2 sex scenes, and that there's not total nudity, but it's close to nudity. And so my initial thoughts were I was so disappointed, because it's one thing if a movie like this comes out and it's not a Christian movie, but it's another thing if it's being promoted as a Christian movie and Christian influencers are promoting it as, go see this movie, it's a wonderful movie about God's love and all this and all that. And so why I'm making this video, why the Redeeming Love movie is a sad day for the Christian community, is because I think this is, I could be wrong, but in my experience, this is probably the first Christian movie that has come out that has a lot of sexuality in it. Oh, man, it is very frustrating these days to find a good, clean show. Let me tell you, I've been disappointed so many times where I look up something on Amazon Prime or whatever, and so many, even TV shows, because I prefer TV shows over movies, are like mature rated, and usually mature means there's nudity in it and all of that. Even just recently, I was watching this TV show, and it was based off of like Charles Dickens novels. It was TV PG, and there was one scene of nudity, a man from the back naked. And I was like, seriously, why do they have to put that in this show? What I want to, my first challenge to you is that today we cannot assume that because something is marketed as Christian entertainment, maybe entertainment, it may be a movie, it may be music. I mean, I'm even seeing that in some Christian music where I'm listening to it and I'm like, this doesn't even sound biblical. And even in books that are promoted as Christian books, we cannot assume that that content is biblical, pure, or something that is honoring to the Lord. So moving on to my number 2 challenge to you is that we have to be critical thinkers today. A lot of us, I think, have maybe coasted by saying, well, again, that's marketed as Christian, so it should be good for me. But we have to be critical thinkers of the content we're consuming and matching that up to the Word of God and saying, is this true or not? Now, as you grow in your walk with God, that will become easier to do. But if you're a baby Christian, you have to be even more careful, because you can be looking at things and hearing things and like, wow, that sounds really good. So maybe have a trusted mentor or someone who's farther along in their walk with God, like ask them about a book or a movie. Hey, did you go see this movie? What do you think about this book? Do you think it's a good book? I remember when Girl Wash Your Face came out, and it was so popular. And one day I was like, okay, I'm going to look into this book. And I was like, this isn't a Christian book. This is just a self-help book. And I was really disappointed that I'd seen so many Christians reading that book. So my number 3 tip is that we've got to cultivate a love for the Lord and a desire to walk in holiness with Him, okay? So when I look at my decisions, I'm not looking at it as a rule or regulation for my life. Does that mean that sometimes it's not hard to make decisions, to not watch something, to not listen to something? Yeah, it's hard. I mean, doing the right thing is often hard. But my mode and my mindset is like, I want to walk closer to the Lord. I want to walk in holiness, greater holiness, and I want to walk in freedom in my life. Does that mean that we're perfect? No, we're going to make mistakes. Like, I have my struggles. I have my challenges in life, my sinful tendencies, things that I'm dealing with. It doesn't mean we're seeking perfection. It means that we're on this journey and we're desiring to grow, and we're not saying I'm just happy with where I'm at in my walk with God, but I want to go deeper. And so I want to read to you guys this verse as I end here. It's from Romans 12:1-2, and it says, I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. So recently for me, I have been a little bit more convicted about, mainly when it comes to music, because I was already on this journey with TV shows, wanting to be more careful with what I watch than what I did in the past, but with music recently, and I've gone through these phases because, let me be honest with you guys, I enjoy non-Christian music more than I enjoy Christian music when it comes to the artistic ability and the songs, not the lyrics, of course, but the music a lot of times. And I have felt like a lot of Christian music is like the same old stuff. But recently, I just was more convicted about like music, and not all just in this negative way, like, oh, I shouldn't be listening to this stuff. It's not benefiting me in my mind. And a lot of music is so like sexually charged. And as a single woman, it's like, that's something I want to be careful of my thoughts. It's something that I have to be conscious of because it can be a struggle in my thoughts sometimes. It wasn't just that though. It was the positive of like, there is power in music. I mean, we have the whole book of Psalms. Music is a gift from God that can allow us to get closer to him and to experience his presence in a greater way. And I've always loved music. I've sung, I've played instruments. I used to play the bass guitar, you guys. Did you know that? But anyways, I realized that I needed to start incorporating more worship music in my life. And not only for my benefit, but for my children's benefit. And I think part of that was reading the book, Imagination Redeemed, which I did a little tiny Instagram Shorts review of, which I will link below. But music is such a gift from the Lord, and an ability to just spend time with him in a different way. You know, it's nice to have variety of ways we connect with the Lord. And so that's been a recent conviction for me. And especially when you're a parent, you realize more of the content you're consuming. Like, oh, I don't want my kids to listen to that. And I guess it probably should be a red flag to me if there have been times, which there have been in the past, where I'm like, well, I don't want to listen to this song around my kids, so I'll just listen to it when I'm by myself. Like, that's probably a good sign it's not a good thing, which is hard as a parent. It creates a greater conviction in our hearts, but it's a good thing. So that is my just encouragement to you guys today. I want to know if you saw this movie, if what you thought about it, if you chose not to see it, why did you choose not to see it, and just if you have had any convictions about the music, the movies that you have consumed, especially as a parent. I would love to know your thoughts. So please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already. You guys, it's free to subscribe, doesn't cost anything. And if this video is something that you think a friend would be encouraged by, would you share it with them? It's a great way to get the word out with you sharing it with your friends, because if you like the video, maybe there's a friend that would enjoy it or needs to hear it. Alrighty, you guys, I'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye.